Good evening. Before we begin this evening, I would just like to make one announcement. Just as we take care of your children every single day that they're here, we are going to take care of you this evening. In the event we have any threatening weather, our Director of Safety, Robert Wynn, will come to the podium and advise you on how to proceed. Welcome, graduates of 2019. Welcome, Mr. Zollers, Ms. Barstow, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and special friends. Welcome, trustees, faculty, and staff. Graduates, this is your day. It's your day to celebrate. However, there are many people here to share your celebration. They're the same people that held your hand, that wiped your tears, cheered your successes, and loved you unconditionally. Please stand and join me in thanking the people in this room that helped you to be here. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our Salutatorian, Samuel Short. Sam has attended Barstow since 6th grade. As a senior, Sam served as student council president of the Barstow chapter of the National Speech and Debate Association, and co-captain of the varsity baseball team. He is part of the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, and Cum Laude Society. As a member of the debate team, Sam qualified to the Tournament of Champions and earned the distinction of Academic All-American. Last year, he represented his class on the Honor Council and was elected as class president, in addition to attaining first team all-conference in baseball. Sam will be attending Washington University in St. Louis in the fall, where he plans on studying political science and Spanish. Sam?
Thank you, Ms. Yount. Freshman year, Ariza's unmistakable handwriting filled every classroom with the iconic imperative, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. This innocent positivity Ariza spread was emblematic of her attitude towards life as a naive high schooler. Things needed happy endings, more love, and more smiles. In English class, she wondered why almost every book we read ended with death or melancholy, where she was met with, "Life is cruel. The real world isn't rainbows and sparkles, Ariza." Despite excessive jokes and criticism from classmates, she continued to spread her sparkles around campus, demonstrating her intent to fundamentally change the attitude of other students. This over-the-top optimism is reminiscent of the attitude in Voltaire's Candide, my favorite book in sophomore English. While traveling the world, Candide faces mass atrocities and ridiculous bad luck. After earthquakes, shipwrecks, or decapitations, Candide and Pangloss, the philosopher, they always find ways to maintain ridiculous positivity. This naivete seems childish, and Voltaire satirizes it to criticize modern society, but there is some value in channeling your inner Candide. We live in a world plagued by pessimism. 24-hour news cycles feed us tragedy after tragedy. Death, destruction, and unspeakable violence all define our society. It is almost impossible to not feel useless in a world plagued with horrible events. Alas, the responsibility falls on us to find solutions to many of these problems. As Dr. Kramer says, y'all gonna fix that. And he's not wrong. Our generation has an obligation to reverse the mistakes of past generations, because more than ever, the future of the planet depends on how we approach current problems. Barstow has provided us with the toolbox to make change. Critical thinking skills from Ms. Zimmerman, Mr. Luce, Dr. Rourke, and Mrs. Ganter, complex problem solving with the math department, and cultural analysis stemming back to Mrs. Padberg's 6th grade geography class. It is our responsibility to apply these skills to our careers and everyday lives. However, nothing you have learned at Barstow will have any value if you believe your actions do not result in any change. You don't have to be Pangloss, pretending that we live in the best possible world, but lazy criticism paired with inaction permits institutions and people to act unethically. Now, it is easy to stand here and harangue about how we can resolve climate change and global health crises, but everyday positivity, leaving that little sparkle everywhere, is what makes the biggest changes. My personal goal throughout senior year was to have a more positive attitude. I'm naturally cynical and sarcastic, but I've found that it ruins my day and it can spread negative energy around the school. This is a common demeanor for a lot of the students. It's way too easy to complain. I encourage you to look at people in the Barstow community who avoid the negative. Be like Dexter Paul in the kitchen. His goofy lobster hat, genuine interest in everyone's day, and unconditional gratitude bring a smile to everyone's face, improving their days. Be like Mrs. Lapizza, a loving human who treats every person in her life like family. Her positive outlook on life and love make everyone feel like they belong. Be like Mrs. Goulden. Her method of delivering hard truths about history and current events in an accessible way makes the subject approachable. More importantly, she delivers these hard truths while empowering us to challenge them. So as we head off to university, be the Ariza Nanji at your respective institution. Take that last sparkle from Barstow with you and leave a little wherever you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. It's my pleasure to introduce our valedictorian, Kristen Tingle. Kristen joined the Barstow community in second grade. Throughout high school and middle school, Kristen has participated in debate, earning the distinction of Academic All-American, and helping create a cooperative and engaging debate team. As a senior, she served as the president of Barstow's Student-Led Honor Council and previously held positions of vice president and class representative. Kristen is a black belt in Taekwondo and enjoys playing on the girls' varsity soccer team. She's a member of Barstow's National Honor Society, Cum Laude Society, French Honor Society, and Carriacentes. Kristen will be attending the University of Pennsylvania in the fall as a member of the Huntsman program in International Studies and in Business. Kristen?
Thank you, Ms. Yount, and welcome to all of the students, parents, faculty, and guests. I am honored to be speaking to you this evening. Although it might seem like smooth sailing now, I want to congratulate each member of the class of 2019 on the enormous effort you've put into getting here. Over the course of the first semester alone, our class probably wrote 100,000 words or more in the college application process. But among the responses, one prompt stood out to me the most. You're on a voyage in the 13th century, sailing across the tempestuous seas. What if, suddenly, you fell off the edge of the earth? When my story begins, the main character hides in the belly of the ship, but violent waves quickly toss her about. She climbs the ladder onto the deck and crosses to the gunwale, peering over the rail to see what the excitement is all about. The ship, rather than heaving through churning seas, floats suddenly above a landmass with gnarled mountains, vibrant blue rivers, and tan spikes along the vague shape of a curled dragon. In the boat, we fall towards the earth and plunge into the Mississippi River, emerging above the Americas 500 years later. The cycles repeat as we continue to crash through time. Injustices and breakthroughs alter the landscape in increments. At each junction, the boat seems on the verge of breaking, but it always delivers its passengers safely into the future. My response took me back through my years at Barstow, from learning to spell hemisphere with Mrs. Rudkin on my first day of second grade, to reciting the states in fourth grade geography, from Mrs. Goulden's world history class to U.S. history with Dr. Ketchell. I used my knowledge of comma rules first acquired with Mr. Goulden in the seventh grade, avoided grammar faux pas thanks to Mrs. Harper, and wrote with eloquence and precision honed by Ms. Zimmerman, Mr. Luce, Dr. Rourke, and Ms. Ganter. The essay recalled memories of our fifth grade trip to Washington, D.C., our eighth grade trip to Boston, and all the memories in between. Mentioning a college essay may cause the class's overall blood pressure to spike, but I believe it offers an unintended but accurate representation of our time at Barstow. Barstow is, in many ways, the ship. The faculty and staff have fostered a safe, encouraging environment in which we have all grown into the amazing people next to me today. The school's lessons and relationships will become the foundations for each stage of our lives, every new leap into the future. Because, much like the character peering over the rail of the ship, we're about to enter an entirely new world. Every one of us will feel like we may crash or stumble, and those rough waves may fling us about. But Barstow's lessons are never lost, the friendships never forgotten, the boat never broken. The enthusiasm for learning that radiates from classrooms at the Barstow School has become a guiding force and serves as the basis for each of us to find our own journeys, to sail ourselves to the edge of the earth and crash joyfully into the unknown, and also to find ourselves safe on the other side. As T.S. Eliot said, only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one will go. Barstow has even taught us to build our own boats, whether that's a shoe company or a new film club, a new friend group or a new mindset. In the eternal words of Dr. Collier, be a better builder. Barstow is your boat, your foundation, but there is so much more out there to explore, so many futures unknown. I, for one, cannot wait to see what we build. But remember, we are not stuck clutching the rails of the ship, just hanging on for dear life. Be confident in your ability to change and improve your surroundings in meaningful, perhaps unexpected ways. Rock the boat sometimes. Live loud, live wide, live tall. Be a force for good. Barstow has calibrated our ethical and intellectual compasses with precision and compassion. It has taught us to steer our ships safely through fair winds, tropical storms, and uncharted waters with poise and determination. Thank you, and congratulations again to the class of 2019.
Thank you, Kristen. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce our graduation speaker this evening, Bill Zollers. As chairman and CEO of YRC Worldwide, Bill Zollers led one of the largest and most recognizable global transportation service providers from 1999 to 2011. Prior to that, Zollers was president of Yellow Transportation, a position he accepted on September 6, 1996, as part of a major management transition for the company. He serves on the board of Cigna Corporation, Cerner Corporation, Prologix, Redstone Logistics, C2FO, and Main Street Data. He has served in many capacities on the Barstow Board of Trustees since 2006. In 2017, he was elected to the position of board chair. Bill is the parent of superlifer Austin Zollers, graduated in 17. Bill is far more than words on paper. Some little-known facts about Bill: he's a proud graduate of the University of Minnesota, where in addition to receiving his degree, he played football. He was then drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. Bill's career has allowed him to travel the world and appreciate the idea of global connectedness. Bill and his wife, Beth, are philanthropists who serve to make our community stronger throughout their tireless efforts. They are avid proponents of the Kansas City community and of the Barstow School. When Bill was asked to be our speaker this evening, he said he was honored to be asked, but not sure if his service matched up to the previous speakers. We assured him that his role at the Barstow School in 19-plus years of service made him eminently qualified. Please welcome Bill Zollers.
I'd also like to welcome the parents, family members, faculty, guests, and of course the graduates of the class of 2019. I also want to pass along the best wishes of our president and headmaster, Shane Foster, who would have done everything in his power to be here tonight after hip surgery, but his wife Polly has him chained to the furniture in the house. So unfortunately, he's not here with us. You know, I've always been a big fan of the school mission at Barstow to develop mind, body, and character. The mind and body part of the mission is pretty obvious based on our performance, both academically and in sports. But the character piece of our mission could not be more clearly demonstrated than by the behavior of parents and students in the incredible college admissions scandal that has been revealed in recent months. I don't know who came up with the mission of symmetrical development of mind, body, and character, but they were pretty smart. It's lasted 135 years, and it's more relevant today than ever. Now, to begin my comments, I'd like to quote a Nobel laureate in literature. His name is Bobby Zimmerman, and he's from Hibbing, Minnesota, my home state. He's better known to you as Bob Dylan. He received the Nobel laureate prize in 2016. For those that don't know, he changed his last name in honor of the great poet, Dylan Thomas. But Bob Dylan was pretty good with words too. As an example, in 1963, and I didn't check with Dr. Kramer, but I think that's 56 years ago, he wrote these lyrics, and feel free to sing along. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. And accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone. For the times, they are a-changin'. For the times, they are a-changin'. I'm not sure Bob would have gotten through Mr. Luce's English class with that. But in any event, he wrote those lyrics. You better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. Well, the class of 2019 has been swimming for quite a while. But now, the times, they are a-changing. They're changing for you parents as well. As Bobby Zimmerman also wrote in that same song in 1963, come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging, for the times, they are a-changing. So the message to all of us is pretty simple. Embrace the change. For graduates, I know there's a certain amount of anxiety associated with the next step in your education. But there are two things you don't need to worry about. One, I've never heard a Barstow graduate say that they weren't prepared for college, so don't worry about that. Two, you will end up at the right school for you, no matter whether that was your first choice, your second choice, or beyond that. For parents, I know there's a certain amount of anxiety going on there too. All I can say is take a deep breath, try to relax. Here are a couple of other challenges for graduates to consider. First, most of you have never had to share a bedroom or a bathroom with anyone. That is about to change. Some will get lucky with a roommate or roommates. Others will get a person that seems to have been raised by wolves. So you've been warned. There will be an invasion of your personal space, and it won't be pretty. Second, no matter where you're going, make an impact. Don't sit on the sidelines. This is an opportunity to remake yourself. Hit the reset button. Now, don't misunderstand me. I don't mean become a phony or give up your integrity, but do expand your authentic self. Participate in as many things with as many different kinds of people as possible. Just don't do anything crazy. Be the person you want to be, not the person others want you to be. This is an aside. I know you love your classmates, but secretly, aren't you a little sick of spending that many years with the same people? Now is the opportunity to meet some new people. For the times, they are a-changing. Okay, I'm going to enter the danger zone here for a couple of minutes with a little straight talk, so just bear with me. There have been discussions of safe spaces and conflict-free zones in colleges around the country. To be clear, if these terms refer to protection from harassment or discrimination, protection we should all enjoy, they obviously should be supported, and I'm all for it. But, and it's an important but, if these concepts are designed to separate us into groups or tribes, as they have recently been called, and prevent us from sharing divergent views, then I think they are a bad idea. Because in a tribe, you don't need to think. The tribe thinks for you. The tribe says something is right, it's right. And whatever the other tribe thinks is wrong. By the way, social media intensifies this trend because it allows you to say remotely what you would never say face to face. More about social media in a little while. Safe spaces and conflict-free zones don't protect you, but they just postpone the inevitable disagreements and different points of view you will encounter when you leave college and enter the workforce. College is a place to listen to others' perspectives and points of view and try to understand where they're coming from, even and especially if you don't agree. Think for yourself, form your own opinions, but never stop listening to others' perspectives. You'll be surprised at what you learn. I believe the polarization and echo chamber behavior we see today can only be improved by more listening, compassion, and the attempt to understand the other person's point of view. In other words, empathy. Barstow grads have the unique advantage of living in a truly inclusive and diverse environment. So, you and your generation have the opportunity to help reverse this increasing trend in polarization. And in fact, you may be our best chance because the times, they are changing. Earlier, I suggested expanding your horizons, but here are two cautionary notes. Cautionary note number one. There has unfortunately been a lot of press on the devastating results of the hazing which has occurred at some universities. Although sororities and fraternities can provide great college experiences, you need to be sensitive to hazing activities that cross the line into risky or even dangerous behavior. They are wrong and they are unnecessary, so don't get involved. I'm going to share a personal story in that regard. When I was a freshman in college, by the way, this was after the invention of the wheel, but before the invention of electricity, so sometime in that time frame. I was recruited to join the SAE fraternity at the University of Minnesota. Shortly thereafter, I was prodded repeatedly to participate in stuff that I was unwilling to do. My mother would have called that strong-willed. Other people would have just said I was stubborn. This relentless hazing pressure continued in a confrontation which ended up having me punch the fraternity president and then, not surprisingly, being asked to leave the pledge group. Now, you shouldn't react as violently as I did, but you should ask yourself if you want to be a member of a group that would sponsor hazing. Instead, look for sororities, fraternities, and other organizations that don't employ these tactics. I'm confident you will find them. Here's a second cautionary note. When your parents and I made mistakes, I know it's hard to believe we made them, but occasionally we did. Those mistakes were known only to us, the people we were with, and people we may have told. Today, because of social media, I told you we would come back to that. These mistakes are indelible and they are immortal. The point is that this puts significantly more pressure on your judgment than your parents and I had to worry about. So before you post on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or whatever your app of choice, you should probably think about how it will look to a potential employer and others whose opinion you value, like your family. For the times, they are a-changin'. By the way, you notice I didn't mention Facebook because I know that only old people use Facebook. Before I close, I'd like to share a message from a Barstow expert. Judith mentioned that my son Austin graduated in 2017 after 15 years at the school. He's what we call a lifer here. He wrote this at the beginning of his senior year as part of his campaign for the student council. And I kept it. He said, 4 years. 4 years of morning assemblies, 4 years of late night cram sessions, 4 years of dances, 4 years of Halloween dress-up days, 4 years of friends and faculty. Not a lot of time when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Yet these are some of the most important years of our lives. Why let that time go to waste? I want this upcoming year to be special for everybody, from the incoming freshman to the rising senior. For me, this is it. This is the last go-around. I've been with some of you guys for most of my life and some just for the last couple of years. But I feel like I know every single one of you. Like I said before, I want this year to be special. You may be asking what I mean by that. Well, it's as simple as this question. Why is the Barstow School so great? Is it the small classes or the unique architecture? No, I mean, sure, that helps, but that's not the answer. It's the people. I realized this at the end of my 8th grade year, when our class was starting to talk about what high school they wanted to attend. A bunch of the guys wanted to go to Rockhurst, and some of the girls wanted to go to Scion. And then there was me. I just couldn't comprehend this. I thought Barstow was the only place to go to school because I had been here for so long. And when the time came for me to decide whether or not to stay, without hesitation, I made my choice. It wasn't because I was scared of change or would miss my friends, but because I realized how connected this school is. Almost a family when you think about it. And I know with a family there's bound to be some conflict because no family's perfect. But at the end of the day, we're family and we need to stick together. There's no way I can improve on that description. By the way, Austin will be a junior in film production at Chapman University in California this fall. And I think he must be doing well because we haven't seen him since graduation. Actually, that's not true. He's sitting out in the audience right now thinking how he can get back at me for embarrassing him. I'm sure he'll come up with something. Finally, and I know many of you have been looking forward to hearing that word, finally, and most importantly, and this is for you parents too, make the time to have fun. This opportunity won't come for you again. So carpe diem, seize the day. Enjoy your college years because as you know, the times, they are a-changin'. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Will the class of 2019 please rise? At this time, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Missouri, I now confer upon you the status of high school graduate. Congratulations. You may be seated. As your name is called, please stand to receive your diploma.
Alexi Dennis Eisen. Julia Marie Butch. Lucy Jane Hart. Alexander Porter McCrake. Lauren Elizabeth Shore. Hannah Alexis Tadros, National Honor Society. Kate Elizabeth Clore. Luke Hastings Daniel. Serbi J. Patil. Ashley Mackenzie Decker. Tyler Joseph Durwood, cum laude, National Honor Society. Jillian Ann Gillen, National Honor Society. Jordan Chase Herwig. Jackson Reese Singleton. Lucas James Lapatowski. Audrey Marie Muntz. Brooklyn Riley Arment. Kristen Lynn Tingle, cum laude, National Honor Society. Tyler Corinne Sabapathy. Sakeith Sai Dendi, National Honor Society. Hamza Maraj Khan, National Honor Society. John Spencer Campbell Scott, National Honor Society. Hannah Briggs Warren. Zoe Catlin Browse, National Honor Society. Shaunik Ramesh Lokri, National Honor Society. Olivier Jacques Longlade. Hélène Florence Catherine Bergère. Taha Fanaswala, cum laude, National Honor Society. Samantha Marin Matula, National Honor Society. Hallie Catherine Navrat. Robert Fanning Putney, National Honor Society. Samuel Elliott Short, cum laude, National Honor Society. Haley Jane Turner, National Honor Society. Paul O'Connell Case, National Honor Society. Demir Capon. Ella Windsor Graham. Emma Cezanne Nunnick. Aiden Thomas Scarrato, National Honor Society. Caroline Faith Atkins, cum laude, National Honor Society. Andrew Kurush Aglagi. Ana Carolina Aravena Crein, cum laude, National Honor Society. Alexander Rose Archer, National Honor Society, Certificate of Emphasis. Kenechi Uguchukwu Ekeketsi. Yuchun Ge, cum laude, National Honor Society. Kelsey Claire McKinney Jackson, cum laude, National Honor Society. Zishan Muhammad Khalid, cum laude, National Honor Society. Cowan Lee. Xingtao Liu. Emily Kathleen Lopez, National Honor Society. Ariza Ikram Nanji, National Honor Society, and Certificate of Emphasis. Solomon Byung Park. Kaylin Sydney Ross. Talia Shackman. Samuel Franklin Smith, cum laude. Hao Chin Wang, National Honor Society. James George Whitehill. Easton Paul Williams. Kate Ellison, English, National Honor Society. Nicole Fu, cum laude, National Honor Society. Nayuan Leo, cum laude. Ken Chen, cum laude, National Honor Society. Simeon Chuang, National Honor Society. Hannah Awad, cum laude, National Honor Society. Yi Lu. Cao Shin.
Congratulations, graduates. It's now time for the charge to the class of 2019 from the president and head of school, Shane Foster. Mr. Foster, as you know, was unable to be with us this evening, but has asked me to share the following message with you all. While I was disappointed not to be able to be with you tonight, it is my pleasure to provide this message to you. There are many things I could say to the class of 2019 as you leave this place. The place where you have been laughed, you've cried, you've been challenged, you've been nurtured, and you've made lifelong friends. Rather than provide you with a speech that you most likely will forget the moment it's over, let me provide you with a more enduring way of demonstrating your charge. I would like to invite Bill Zollers, Natalie Brode, Tom O'Brien, and Joni Rudkin to come down and stand before you. The four individuals who are standing in front of you have a combined 70-plus years in service to the Barstow School. Their passion, commitment, generosity, and spirit to Barstow should be examples for all of us. Just think of how they have impacted your lives and, by extension, the lives of your family and friends. These four individuals will join you in leaving us tonight, but they are Barstow lifers who have followed their passion and demonstrated unwavering commitment to the school. Their commitment is an example for all of us, and it is my great pleasure to bestow on them the status of honorary alumni. Please let us acknowledge their service to our school. Graduates, please stand. You've been given the best your school has to offer you. We are proud of you. We love you. We will miss you. And never forget, you are the class of 2019. You are the Barstow School. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2019. You may all present. This way. You go. Can you get through?